there's an example of an aiming opportunity, because right now getting shots is super valuable. Because we're specifically trying to kill a squishy right now. So let's check it out. So close, but it was confusing, man, because they're moving around. And then here we go. We have him in our sights. We have him. What are we gonna do? Interesting. So sometimes this happens. That's why, I can't speak for you, but just from my experience, sometimes things get kind of confusing because of how you're shooting with these characters, like left hand or right hand, and you kind of moving them around, and you got this guy, and you got but your crosshair really matters, right? So potentially we can hit this thing and damage him with the splash, but the splash doesn't do that much damage. We want to get a direct hit here. I think we should be totally focused on, if we have the chance to get a direct hit, that's literally all that we're doing right now. We're not even doing anything else. So I think we can go ahead and lock in and just sort of become more stable and make sure if we get the chance, once this next shot comes in, we gotta have it on his hitbox the best we can. We might still miss, but that's our goal, right? But this, I think, was just way too far off the mark. We were already kind of going here, and then we went even more over here. But we want to make sure this thing, for everything else with how the hero how the hero's moving and doing all this other stuff, we really want to lock in, get the crosshair on the hitbox, and that will overall make a big impact on all of our games. Like, the overall effect is pretty strong. Nice to do the melee here, but yeah, I mean, he gets out of it, so we could have killed him for sure. Nice to focus him again, not really going to kill him with this, but we are threatening him early, making his life more difficult. So yeah, somebody just died there. What just happened? Okay, he used his ultimate and died. Okay. So he just totally fucked up. I mean, he's not getting out of this. What the hell is he doing? Let me watch this. Right now he's doing this. This made sense to me. And he comes around the side, okay. And he's like, nah, I'm going back here, boys. Brilliant. So once we see, what can you say, man? That's just wild. So this again points to like the behavior of the Magneto is much better than, it's much more consistent and better than the behavior of the Punisher. So we could say, if this guy's average rank, then this guy should rank up. If this guy's average rank, then this guy should rank down. That's like a simplistic way to just kind of make sense of it. One person's doing better than the other here. So it's in your favor, but then you're not asking about how to rank up, actually. But how to rank up is like, you do as many things as possible to raise your chances of winning, and then overall, you're going to win a lot more games. That's good, you just collapsing on them, and they're super vulnerable now. Oh, it's aiming time. It's aiming review time. Very important. So here's, obviously in this situation, I don't feel a personal pressure. I mean, we got to kill him, right? But I don't got to hit every shot to kill him. You know what I mean? They're dead, right? But let's say, this comes up all the time. We got to hit people like this. Squishies, they're in a vulnerable position. And we got to get these. There's nothing else to do, right? So we don't have to. It's not like we're busy doing other stuff, and that's why we miss the shots. We have to just hit the shots. So jumping with him, we're thinking we're gonna hit him. So what happened here? Why are we way over here? Is it because we're moving our character this way? Sometimes we have to move the camera to help ourselves move in a direction, but generally we don't want to be crutching on this. And because like I said, we don't have to do anything else besides hit these shots. So we need to be focused on hitting the shots. Put the crosshair on him. So the crosshair come back to him. Well, I mean, excuse me. You're in the middle of reloading, so maybe it doesn't matter. So that was a really close one. I mean, that was kind of like a shot that definitely could have hit her. But if we want to hit her, we need to go towards the left, which we had time to do. Just review it real quick. So we do see her by the time we're done reloading. So we could have killed her by pointing our crosshair over here. We could have saw her. Or maybe we don't even want to worry about her, and we want to hit this guy instead. So with this, you might be instinctively avoiding her hitbox to try to clip his hitbox, because this is something we have to do all the time in game. Somebody's sneaking around the corner. If you hit this, you don't hit him at all. So you try to get it around the hitbox and clip their hitbox. It's like a common thing that we learn to do instinctively with aim. So you might be actually doing that. That might be kind of the reason why you're off target here to the right, because you're trying to avoid her. But this is just a thing to put into your system of like, I don't need to avoid her. You know, and I'm not assuming that you're 100% doing that or whatever, but just as this example of like, you know, I need to train my system to have the crosshair on him. Like this is a guaranteed shot. It's not a complicated enough scenario to demand that we would even miss a shot here. So now our aim is kind of all over the place right there. That's why I'm kind of stressing stability. There's nothing else to do. He's not going to suddenly go all over the place. I mean, if he does, then we'll miss him. But if he's going to be kind of going back in a line right here, we can keep our shit relatively stable. We might move it a bit to try to make sure we hit him, but we don't need to be going like this. That's just my take, you know, on how to improve the aim. Because sometimes, you know, stable aim, and then he'll do a movement you're not ready for, and then you miss him, right? But that's okay. But because we want to train this stable aim, as well as have the ability to react and do crazy stuff with our aim. But we also want to train this stable aim during these moments because it's super efficient. Our chance of hitting their hitbox is like much, much higher. We're trying to raise that chance. So we got the splash on him. He got hit by something else. I think that was either a direct hit or was a splash. So this is reasonable, right? We didn't know where he was going to go. We can kind of assume he's going to go back to the spawn door. But it happened at a time where... So this is really reasonable. This is like, the aim is good here. So now this one is more important though, right? Since this shit is going on, we might want to stop holding down and try to get a click shot. Of course, in this situation, I mean, you completely backed him up. You know what I mean? But if he survives and comes out, potentially they can have another push. Probably not, especially once we know this. But yeah, it's still worth it to hit him right here. But also, it's training for every other time when it does matter more. So I think here we really could have slowed down, paid attention. Is he going to jump? How's he going to move? And we're just sort of locked in with that. What do you call that? Like the subconscious. You know what I mean? Like because we're not going to be thinking, oh, he jumped and I'm going to hit him. It's subconscious, right? It's like super quick. Where you want to be doing that type of shit. So this is a nice kind of, this is more like a flick aim, right? Where instead of being stable on him as we came up the stairs, we did flick towards him. So being able to flick is a great skill. But we wanted, that's my advice. I'm having some aiming advice for you here, which is to develop that stability aim. Even if sometimes you miss people, but it's just part of learning it. So that one was very nearly a miss as well. We're pretty far off his hitbox. I don't know if it was a direct hit or a splash or what, but okay, yeah. He's not gonna keep moving left because there's that thing there. So that's the stable aim, right? Instead of I'm too far this way and then I'm too far this way. It's the stable aim to stay on his hitbox, assuming that he's not gonna be able to move very much from where he is. So we could have got that shot too. So I hope that makes sense. Just some aiming tips. I'm not sure why he did that instead of shooting at her, but... Oh, okay. No, I don't know. It didn't matter at that point, though. I can't be pretending like there's something to do there. But we could have killed her, too, potentially. That would have been just for fun, because the game really was over by that time. Alright, it doesn't matter. We're getting kind of confused between, like, aiming advice and fucking what the game actually consisted of there, but I think it's still useful for you. Alright, now we gotta lock in on the whole new game here. So, you would have already, you know, got acquainted with it. We got the exact same team that we had at the end of the last game. We don't know it yet, but they did switch back to this one. And we have this one now. We'll see how that goes. We see him right off the bat, so we know he's there. Looks like good aim there, but we're still kind of flicking left and right more than we need to. And we potentially miss shots due to that. Sometimes you get... I'm not going to spell it out all over again. Sometimes you get shots to that. Because of that, but that's the stable aim. Alright. See, we kind of missing some shots there. Instead of just focusing on his hitbox. Looks good. You got the sense for the Magic, super good skill to have as the Magneto. Fantastic. So, and she attacks you again. What is going on? Okay, well, it kind of paid off. She did come up behind you, and plus everybody else, so it kind of paid off. Nice getaway. You got away right away there. This guy's very dangerous. You know, other Punishers are going to be way more dangerous. This guy isn't that dangerous, but yeah. The health started going down quick. You got out of there. You were kind of far up, but you didn't way overcommit. So yeah, you're aware that the magic is here. You wait a single second before committing to her, it looks like. Looks good. She's out of there immediately, and she just barely escaped with her life as well. So yeah, I would say this Punisher's pretty dangerous. A better Punisher could really capitalize on getting you right here, but it is tough when you got this guy, so you're kind of protected as well. Just pointing that out, you know, obviously in this game it doesn't really matter. We're getting low health here, and we're still kind of hanging out. That's good. You're betting that you're going to be able to take this space, and it worked out. And she's just playing really not good enough, and you know from experience that your team is good enough to kill her. So it all worked out as predicted here. That basically by now we're thinking we're the better team. Here. Looks like a spot to review the aim here, because this is really where it counts, right? We are specifically chasing a squishy, and Magneto can like 3-shot a squishy, right? So honing your aim on the squishy is the difference between not killing a squishy and you're kind of, you know, you're just like harassing this guy, which can still be valuable, or you literally kill him pretty fast, man. That shit is tough to deal with when that's happening. So we really could have dominated this guy. Let's take a look at it. I mean, the stuff got in your way, but your flick shot did go towards him there. So that comes out pretty quick after the other shot, and it looks like our crosshair wasn't totally ready for it. We were still kind of too far this way, so it totally misses him. So we know from experience that once we do the right click and then the left click comes out quick after the right click, so we need to put our crosshair accordingly with that. So we tried to get super, super close to him here, which is debatable of why we would do that. We are Magneto, right? We're kind of body blocking him, getting in the way, so it does make sense actually. You're just cutting off his angle, so never mind about that. You're cutting off his angle, getting him away from your team. That's good. Yeah, because yeah, you do not want him to kill this guy, so that actually is really nice. So you're doing more than just going up for the kill. You're also preventing him from doing something. Whoops. But we didn't need to miss this one, because this is another one of those things where our movement and our camera are following like an old pattern of just how we, as the human, move the video game character around in the game. Our camera, we have habits of how we move the guy with the camera. But if our goal is, you know, because we also want a body block, so we need good movement. So we kind of have to, now we have to use D more, and not just using W here. So it's harder to be precise and whatever, you know what I mean? But that's something that's worth it with aim, is that if we can be more on his hitbox and be more reactionary of if he might move a little bit or whatever, we might catch his hitbox here rather than missing him. So now we're set on still trying to hit him. I assume from your perspective you want to actually kill him. So that was a total miss. You probably, as you shifted from this to here, you're probably taking in the big scene, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to speak for you. These are just literally my ideas. So we're kind of taking in the scene, and our shot goes that way. We don't want that. We got to improve our eyes and be able to focus that hitbox and also be an effective tank. You need to know what's going on with those people. The solution is to not ignore them or whatever, but, you know, to have the ability to improve our aim and kill the squishy there.